Thank you, dear. Try not to mess that up like I did yesterday.
It's okay. It's okay. We're now joined by the College of Charleston Cougars. We have with us head coach Robin Harmony, along with student athletes Taryn Barbeau and Taylor Barbeau. Again, we'll have an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes, and then later questions for Coach. If you do have a question, raise your hand, give your name and your media affiliation before asking that question. With that, Coach, the floor is yours.
I think that we played 40 minutes. We battled. We didn't shoot the ball well from three-point, and that was one of the goals that we had to take care of. We missed a lot of point blankers in the middle, the 5-6 footers, but our kids never quit. We did make them turn the ball over 20 times, which is a good plus, a positive from it. But, you know, we didn't get blown out of the gym. We worked, and, you know, we kind of held our own. We just would have hit some more of those threes and some of those little point blankers. It could have been a little bit closer margin. But, you know, just really, really proud of our team for showing up and really pushing.
Questions for the student athletes? It's always the other side of the room, isn't it? I mean, it's okay. She's getting her workout today, running laps. Second row left.
Scott Eisberg, WCIV. Taryn, obviously, a ton of points you were put up today in a tournament game. You know, will you remember it for the fact that on the biggest stage you put up 36 points, or just the loss?
I definitely remember both, but I'm super proud of what I did on the court today. Yeah, I definitely don't like losing like that. It's like, it really hurts to lose, but I think I did good today. I think I gave it all my all, so I'm definitely proud of that.
Other questions? Front row, yeah.
Andrew Miller with the Post-Courier in Charleston. Taylor, just talk about this kind of being that first step that y'all are taking. You know, Coach said that you want to build each step and get back here next year and kind of build on that.
I mean, yeah, that's the goal. I think we've done that, like, all our years here. Like, we've built upon what we did the last year. So, yeah, I definitely say that's the plan, to keep going. Yeah.
More questions from the room? Second row.
Scott Eisberg, WCIV. Taryn, did you feel like you were a power conference player tonight? You were up there against Duke and putting up that, those type of numbers. Did you feel like power conference skill?
Yeah, I definitely did. I was just, like, once I got hot, my teammates kept finding me the ball, and I just kept attacking. So, yeah.
Any other questions in the room? Seeing none and none on Zoom, the student athletes, you are welcome to leave. Thank you for your time.
You know what you want?
You can.
Okay.
Questions for Coach? Second row.
Yeah, Robin, just was it what it was cracked up to be, being on the biggest stage in women's basketball and holding your own against Duke? I mean, what was the overall feeling that you'll take from it?
Yeah, I think that we definitely held our own. When you play a team like Duke, who's very good, and don't be surprised if you don't see them in the Final Four, it's, we could have gotten beat by 60, and we kind of hung in there just long enough, and again, hit shots, and we would have been still back in that ball game a little bit more. So, we'll take that, we'll learn from it, and keep it moving.
Front row.
Yeah. Andrew Miller from the Post-Courier in Charleston. Kind of the same question I asked Taylor about how this is kind of maybe the beginning for you guys and kind of building on this foundation and returning here next year.
Yeah, you have to get to win championships, whether it's regular season, tournament, get to the NCAA, to let the kids know what it's like, the younger ones coming up, just for that tradition. And this is that first step to help us get that done. And it's, no matter what, they'll always remember this.
Any other questions from the room? Front row again. Okay. And then
Andrew Miller again from the Post-Courier. Are you a little concerned that Taryn might be targeted after a 36-point performance in the NCAA tournament?
Not really. I mean, she's 20. She's going to make her own decisions. She's an adult, and it's whatever's best for her, So I'm not even thinking about that. That's not, oh my, she just was on the big stage and she showed that she could do it. We already knew she could do it. That's not surprising. Everybody that came after her last year, they knew that same thing. So it's just, again, there's no doubt that she is a Power 4 player, and this is where she's happy, and that's what she wanted to do. And that's the important part, is the kid's happy with where she's playing, and if she's not, then she has to change.
To the right? That was your question. Okay. Third row.
Hello. Oh. William Townsend of the Durham Sports Commission. Could you just give us a little bit, like, just the positives of a game like this? Like, anything you would like to bring into next year off of a performance like this?
Well, we made them turn the ball over 20 times. We only turned it over 11. I think that we had a really good defensive scheme where we were switching on all screens and smothering the ball. But, it was a start that, we need to play a little bit better post defense. But it's a start to build on and know what our style is. And, you hit more baskets, we'll hang with teams like this. And then you catch them getting in foul trouble, and then it's a different story. But, it's just the atmosphere that we played in is going to help us. Our team didn't fold. They didn't back down. They didn't look like they were scared, and they competed. So that's the positive part we'll take.
Robin, Scott Eisberg, when you look back on this group, what will this specific group and this specific last 4 months mean to you over your career?
Well, they're the ones that got that first banner in the gym. So they're the ones that set that stage for the next step in this program to continue to get better. These kids are somebody that we never won. 7 years, we were always the doormat. And they just pretty much turned the whole program around, and it's great.
Last one.
Andrew Miller, Post and Courier again. Kind of a two-parter. Grace, has 15 rebounds. Just played great in the interior. And then you didn't kind of get that secondary scoring, that you normally get. Just what did they do that kind of shut those other guys down a little bit?
Well, Grace didn't really get too many touches, because when we did feed her, ball went out of bounds probably 3-4 times. A couple easy putbacks she missed. But, with Grace, we have to develop her defensive game more. She can rebound. She has the ability. She can move her feet. It's just that we don't really have her where she's a post player that's back to the basket. So she has a whole entire summer to get better and to improve on that. I think if we would have had that, that would have even opened it up a little bit more, because we were driving, they were zeroing us. We couldn't really throw the ball to our three-point shooters, and if they did shoot, they didn't have a lot of time. And the length of Duke was, they're 6'4", and then with that length, they're like 6'7". Trust that. But, it's just us getting better and us working, and now the kids see. They can watch it over and over and see where they need to improve. And, we are always lecturing it to them, but unless they get out that stage and do it and see it, they're not going to know that they have to make adjustments. But either way, it's still, we're proud of them.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations
Appreciate
on a great
it. Thank
season.
you.